Thank you, Mr. Perry, for the opportunity to be here. In 2005, Fort Hood and the region told our planning organization, which is the TxDOT Regional Policy Board that sets the priorities for the TxDOT Waco District, that we had three concerns that were serious concerns. That was access, congestion, and safety. And at that time, we collaborated not only at the local, county, and state level, but also with our federal officials to come together and find a way to bring the communities and the region together to agree that we need to identify what are the best ways to fix and address these issues. As a result of that attempt, we have 4 successes that I would like to talk to you about today. One of those, the first success is on Fort Hood, which, by the way, this is the first time that TxDOT has ever expended dollars on the actual base. They approved $41.1 million for improved ingress and egress enhancements on the base. The other item is on US 190. They have funded $129.6 million in improvements from Coppers Cove to 2014. The third item is the Coppers Cove bypass, which is a 2-lane southern loop that will create new access and reduce congestion to Coppers Cove at a price of $49.2 million. The final point that I would like to make, which is, as we all know, is a strategic deployment route for Fort Hood and a main gateway into our community, is Highway 195. We have successfully solicited and funded $105 million in projects for 195 from Fort Hood to I-35. And on the next slide, I will expand on that in more details. But that is well in excess of $300 million in projects that TxDOT has recognized the need to fund and invest in the greater Killeen-Fort Hood area. So therefore, I think that we have done a good job with that, and that they definitely recognize the asset that we have with Fort Hood. The first priority that I would like to talk about is, on the Fort Hood priorities, is number 1, Mr. Perry. It's the completion of the Mayborn Access Control Point with a price tag of $9.3 million. That is a new access point that is just north of the East Gate. The second project is the State Highway 9 Northeast Loop, which is under construction at this time with a price tag of $31.1 million. That is a new access from Central Texas Expressway up to Highway 116, as well as an extension of Tank Destroyer connecting with that, which will have a new access control point. The third project is the completion of a railroad overpass crossing Central Texas Expressway with a project cost of $2.3 million, allowing them to be able to move maneuver equipment across the expressway without interrupting traffic. And the fourth project is the completion of the Mohawk Access Control Point with a cost of $1.2 million. Again, all of these projects are on the base, and they are funded 100% by the state of Texas for better access and safety on Fort Hood. My other point that I would like to now go to is the widening of US 190 from 4 lanes to 6 main lanes. We have already completed the part that Mr. Perry mentioned that General O'Neill made a point of, that it took a really long time to get finished. We promise these next phases will not take that long, and that contractor did suffer liquidated damages in his delays. But as a result of our hard work, we have completed from Coppers Cove to Main Gate at a price tag of $41 million. The next phase that has already begun construction, and you should be seeing that as you're coming and going to work, is from Main Gate to W.S. Young. That project is $55 million, and again, it's widening it from 2 main lanes in each direction to 3, as well as it will have intersection improvements and frontage road improvements. There is another phase that we've already opened bids on but have not yet awarded, and we will do that in the next 30 days. It's from W.S. Young to 2410 at the price tag of $9 million. That is a total of over $105 million for US 190 that will serve us, give us better reduce congestion, better access, and the most important part is improve our safety. The other project that I'd like to mention is the Coppers Cove bypass. This is a 2-lane loop that is intended to expand to 4 lanes in the future at the price tag of $42 million. That, as I said earlier, will create a new avenue for traffic to move faster without all the traffic lights. It will have limited access, and it will serve us well. Coppers Cove stepped up tremendously. The MPO, our planning organization, and the state pitched in as much as we could. there was still a shortage of a significant amount of money, and Copper's Cove stepped up and they bonded the balance of the project with a reimbursement agreement from TxDOT. And that was no small feat on the city of Copper's Cove's size, and we're proud of them for doing that. The last project that I'd like to mention is the widening of a Highway 195 from 2 lanes to a divided 4-lane highway at the cost of $129.6 million. As you can see, the green part of this slide is the part that's already completed. The yellow is well under construction and nearing completed. And although the map shows that we still have a red and a blue to start construction, thanks to Congressman Carter, who went to the county commissioners in Williamson County and to the MPO in Williamson County and expressed the need to see this project, this strategic corridor, come to fruition. And although they had a plethora of projects and priorities that this was not one of, they recognized the need to support Fort Hood, and they stepped up and moved this project in front of their own priorities in order to accommodate and to consider us. So we're very proud and grateful for that. I will go through very quickly, and you can read the slides. As the Bell County phase was $34 million. That was from Stan Schleter to the county line. Phase 3 is another $39 million, which is expected to complete this year. Phase 4 is 37, 5 is 18, and again, that's a total of $129 million. That is no small investment on our state's behalf. One other point, I said I'd talk about 4 successes, but there's actually 5. The city of Killeen has really stepped up, as did Copper's Cove, with their pass-through finance projects. They have 2 projects, both of them. One of them is out at the University of Central Texas, Texas A&M Central Texas. There's a grade separation and a roadway widening from 2 lanes to 4 back to the regional airport. The city knew that with all these other priorities, there was no way we could traditionally fund these projects. Therefore, they went to the state and negotiated and put together a plan where they could bond these projects and finance them now and let the state reimburse them over time. The other project is about to begin, and we just had the groundbreaking last week for Rosewood, which will be another grade-separated intersection there near the Rosewood Living Center between the Killeen and Harker Heights city limits. That will create a connection from 2410, eventually all the way out to Chaparral and probably onto the 3481 at the Long Bridge on crossing the Lampasas River. That is going to reduce a tremendous amount of congestion at Stan Schleter Loop and also at 2410. And although those 2 projects do not directly impact Fort Hood, they do impact them in that those are intersections that our soldiers and our citizens have to travel through in order to get to and from where they're going. So my point in saying all of these things is that these communities, all the communities in Central Texas, have come together. They have stepped up on a united front. They have made personal investments, not only at the state level, but all the way to the smallest local levels, to see that you have better access with the 3 new access control points, reduce congestion, and improve the mobility, and most of all, to improve our safety. I believe our communities and our state have heard Fort Hood's plea and the region's plea, and they have done a great job. And I don't mean to leave out the county either. The county also stepped up in a significant way, Judge Burroughs. I'm glad I looked out and saw you on the Highway 190 projects. But they put $2 million into that project, and that's no small feat on their part either. But my point again is the community has heard your needs. We have stepped up. We have made major long-term investments so that we can be a good partner to America's heroes and America's heroes. We appreciate what you do for us, and God bless you.